In January, Chuck saw a Facebook advertisement for a Vanlife gathering in Florida. The schedule looked very interesting, and we thought it would be a fun way to meet people.
We're on our way to the van meetup in Dade City this weekend. First time using the Insta360. It looks like it's mostly sky. We'll see how it goes. Our first stop is going to be at Kill and Curly so I can get some cider because my recorder leg cider has been out at ABC and they don't know if they're getting any more. So we're gonna get some Kill and Curly cider, which is weird that they don't sell the cider in the grocery stores. But last year the fair's here and they had a cotton candy cider. And we weren't able to get it because they weren't going to sell it till the fair was over. There's the van across the street. So we're inside the winery, and there's a ton of people here doing tasting, people at the bar. And we have like the whole area here with all the wines and the ciders. And then there's an outdoor area with fountains. This is usually where we sit as outside. And they have an outdoor bar too. We made it to the park, and there is a very long line of vehicles. And it is 3:28 now. How long do you think we've been in line? 30
minutes.
30 minutes we've been in line. Looks like only about 3 cars move at a time. So we still have a pretty decent way. But I think the line is like a lot shorter than earlier because the guy said when we got here, hopefully the line's gone down. So it must have been really, really bad before.
Here's the site map for the event. This is the area of the park that was rented out for our event. Here is the yellow star on the upper right. This is where I just showed you the video where we were in that long line waiting to get into the park because they only had a few people that were checking people in here. And so this is the first year of the event, which we didn't realize. So they have some things to tweak, and I'm sure next year the lines won't be as long and they'll have more help here. The big campground here is boondocking, which means you don't have electrical water hookups, was called the Groovy Grove Campground. And they have named the streets with the various names that we were on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. And this was to help you find your way better. There were little signs at the end of the streets so that you could help find your way back to your van, because once you get a lot of vans, it starts to get kind of crowded. We were kind of in here, and we had a yellow shuttle bus close to us, which made it much easier in order to find our spot, which I really liked. Over here, there is a section for people who wanted to be with various groups, like the Storyteller Van group or the Rebel group. Scott Watson Way was a YouTuber who did a seminar the next day that Chuck and I went to. The seminar was under the talking tree where you just brought your chairs or sat on the ground. And it was really good. It was on urban camping. They had a lot of really good seminars. We weren't able to go to everything, but we did enjoy the seminars. Over here is a small area of connected camping for people who can't boondock and they need to hook up in order to be there for the 3 days and have power. We met one person who was a volunteer that was over here, but we never really had time to go into that section. I don't think many people went over into the connected camp section. We had porta potties along the way here and here with hand washing stations. They didn't have a lot of porta potties at first, but they added more. Still probably could have added a lot more. And hopefully next year that will be better. One of the sponsors was Victron Energy. Another sponsor and the main organizer was Vanlife Outfitters. The stage is where they had live music every night, and it was really good. I'll talk more about that later. The exhibitors are over here to the right. I have a short video that will show a little bit of this area. Coming up soon, The Leafy Lounge is where we had s'mores one night with a campfire, and it was awesome. I've been wanting to do s'mores forever, and Chuck was not into it, but now that we've done it, he really enjoyed it. We have tent camping, which is over here for people who had tents. And then there's RV campground, which is more larger RVs or hookups for people who wanted to stay in this area. I think some of the people putting on the event were over in this area. And then, of course, we had a lot of dogs, and so the doggy relief area is up here to the right, and to the left is the day pass parking area. Believe it or not, there were people who were flying in from around the country, and even people from Canada who came to this event. Totally surprised us, but it was very popular, and the day passes, I think, were fairly cheap, but they had to leave by a certain time in the day, so they weren't allowed to stay around for the live music and the other things that happened at night. Chuck decided to climb onto our rooftop deck in order to get a better, higher up view of the event. As you can see, there's a lot of vans and they're really close together. You can even see the yellow shuttle bus that I mentioned earlier, which helped to make it easier for us to find our van.
Did you get your questions answered?
Yeah. These are all professionally built vans.
This is custom builder somebody. Yeah. Odyssey. That's cool. Handicap. What is that? Is it like a van?
Yeah, so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, how cute.
Place it over there
Howdy.
so that this is supported by this at an angle, right? Because then first
Stealth pillows. Accessible. Moxie Van Company.
Like after my son are in there in school, I walk in the door, just at lunch, some lunch, and
This is the exhibit area to the left. And this is really the start of the main road. Those are like groups of people over there. So it's one. They have names, Dwayne Lane. 2, 3. There's Strawberry. 4. 5 high. 6.
We're the 7th.
7. We're 7. And then there's. Okay. 8. 9. Still going. 10. 11. So we have 11 rows. 11 rows. We're on row 6. Very cool. And it's just like endless. Oh, so sweet. Lots of dogs. Unbelievable number of dogs.
If there's 20 vans on each road, then that's basically 300. Just like they said.
Yeah, I bet there is 20 vans on a row. This is our row. He's so well behaved. Hi.
everything in the front
money and that you could possibly change with Kenny.
Hello.
How are y'all?
Yeah,
Good.
how'd it work for you? It worked great, but then I got a dog. When you got 4 foot of floor space, and you got a 2-foot dog, I guarantee the dog is sitting right.
We really enjoyed the live music every night. The first night was a single guy playing a guitar, but the second night, Saturday night, was the Jingle Slap. It was a 60s, 70s funky group, and it was really, really good. And they're local from St. Petersburg, Florida, so we were super excited to know that we could go see them again. And then the last night, they had a bluegrass band. We mostly grilled out, but there were a variety of food trucks that rotated at the event. Our neighbors loved the donut place. We had pork sandwiches at the barbecue place, and the Jamaican place sold out super early, so the food must have been good at all of these. Our favorite was the Crispy Rooster. I had the hot honey, which was a little hot for me, and Chuck had the Nashville hot chicken. It was amazing. One of the best part of the events was the open van tours and the DIY build contest. Vans were open from 11 to 4 p.m. for those who wanted to participate by putting this sign in their window. As you will see, the DIY build contest required an extra X in this box in the lower right-hand corner. And you had to have been camping full-time for the weekend in order to be eligible, and also have built at least 80% of the van yourself. We were required to name our van for the competition. As you can see on the form, we came up with the name Iron Dinghy. We're boaters, and a lot of boaters will sometimes refer to their vehicles as their iron dinghy. So that's where we came up with the name. I don't know that Chuck is totally thrilled with it, but that's what we went with for now. There were a lot of nice vans, so Chuck and I were totally thrilled when the judges came by and we were awarded the best in our row, which made us eligible for the final Best in Show. The winner of the raffle prizes and the Best in Show was announced Sunday night before the live music began. Chuck and I didn't win. The winner actually came from the Connected area, which I mentioned earlier is far away and not a place that anybody we knew actually went over and saw their van. However, they did say Sunday night that the camera crew had been at their van earlier in the day. So I did find the video, and I've attached a photo here, and I will put the link to the video in the comments below. Our neighbors were just awesome. We couldn't have got any better neighbors. They totally felt that we should have won, and so they gave us their Dometic cooler raffle prize that they won and said that should be our prize. Chuck and I took a short hike after the event was over and talked about our thoughts on how things went. First of all, we were super impressed at how quiet it was. Vanlife people are very, very respectful of each other, and a lot of times after the live music ended at 9:30, it was just total silence back where all the vans were. We were really, really impressed by that. There were lots of dogs, which of course they were also very well behaved, so we absolutely loved that. From our neighbor's dog, Charlie, who's 3 pounds, to a Newfoundland Bull Mastiff, I believe it was called, which was huge. We loved our dog time here. As a side note, we had just lost our foster dog, Queen Olivia, because she had been adopted. And a quick update, she's doing absolutely awesome, as you can see from the before and after picture here. People were of all ages, but mostly in their 50s at the event. It was a mix between full-time and part-time. Also, there were a mix between retirees and traveling nomads. Overall, we really loved it. We feel like we got held back a little bit by the open van tour time being so long, and then the DIY contest took up a lot of time too because the judging was really late to get to us on Sunday. So we got stuck at our van more than we liked. So I feel like next time we would probably roam around more and maybe not do as much open van in the DIY contest. And that would allow us to do a better job videotaping, to see more vans. But we will definitely be back next year because we won free tickets as part of being the Best in Row winner. So hope to see you out there next year.